We have a major injury update on former WWE Women's World Champion Charlotte Flair, who has not been seen on WWE TV for months, ever since severely injuring her MCL, ACL, basically her entire knee. We're going to be talking about the latest update on Charlotte Flair. There was promising progress, but looks like we may need to hold our horses. We're also going to be talking about WWE doing a little bit of a petty move and stealing an act away from AEW. We've got all the details right here, youtube.com/Real Take Wrestling. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Okay, let's talk about Charlotte Flair. As I said before, she severely injured her knee a couple of months ago, right around the new year, and it was explained and reported then that this was a pretty monumental injury and that we would not see Charlotte Flair for a while. And for those of you who are wondering, usually for like when you tear your MCL, ACL, basically your entire knee, that is something that usually ends up keeping you out anywhere from 9 to 12 months. We are now right around 9 months into this. And while we had heard earlier, there were reports that Charlotte was, ahead of schedule and that she was doing very well. Well, we have a new report courtesy of the good folks over at FightfulSelect.com. Here is an excerpt from that report. Quote, "This week, reports emerged of creative plans involving Charlotte Flair moving forward, specifically the involvement with Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. However, as of now, WWE sources confirm that she is not cleared yet. It was noted that those in WWE believe there will still be some time before she returns to the ring, as the injuries that she sustained were severe." Now, again, you guys want the full Fightful Select story, be sure to check out the link in the description. But that kind of gives you a bit of more insight into this Charlotte Flair situation. And, the big question that we'll answer in just a second is, how has the absence of Charlotte Flair, impacted WWE TV? And I think it has greatly. But, just going back to the injury real quick, we need to remember that these things are fluid. Like, we don't know. At the end of the day, we can sit here and what's it called? A Monday morning quarterback, all these different things, all these different aspects of the injury. At the end of the day, Charlotte Flair is the one who's actually doing the injury rehab. Charlotte Flair is the one who best understands, and her doctors as well understand what it's going to take for her to return. And I know there are many people out there who want to see her back on TV. I know there are many people out there who believe that, oh, well, it's been 9 months. Where's she at? Why isn't she coming back? I thought she was ahead of schedule. At the end of the day, we need to realize one very important thing, and that is that these athletes who put their bodies on the line, who take these bumps, it's not just getting back from injury, right? It's not just a matter of, okay, I'm good to resume working out or whatever, because that's usually what happens after like 9 months, unless you're like a freak of nature. What, like, the disconnect here is, I think, not, it's like 9 months from resuming all the activities that you would otherwise do, but then actually getting back in not ring shape, but getting back to what you were doing before, getting back to wrestling, getting back to taking those bumps and being comfortable with your knee and your legs and getting that under you is a whole different ball game. So I think that's like a big thing that people need to take into account. The other thing, obviously, as I mentioned before, Charlotte Flair being off TV has definitely impacted the women's division in certain ways. It has caused talent like Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax recently to step up and take that mantle as, flagships of that women's division. But at the same time, one thing that, we are missing on WWE TV are, these big stars in the women's division, especially on Raw. Like, we have like some really like great wrestlers and all that kind of, but like when you're talking about star power on Raw, especially in the women's division, Charlotte Flair on that show would add a lot of it, because right now a lot of the the airspace being taken up by this Rhea Liv Morgan feud, and that is great. But I think WWE has established this before, that they should be able to tell multiple women's storylines on one show. And while we have seen that to an extent, I don't think it's anywhere near where they could be doing. You look at NXT as an example of a show that does that and does that very well, in my opinion. But I think Charlotte, when she does come back, is definitely going to be needed, because no matter what Charlotte Flair is doing, she's one of those people that she's going to be important no matter what. She could be wrestling any newcomer on, like, newcomer on the block, whatever you want to say, and she is going to be important because it's Charlotte Flair, a multiple time world champion, someone who has been there, done that, won the Royal Rumble, main event of Mania, all the stuff that you want to talk about, she has done. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully she comes back soon, because again, the most important thing is that Charlotte Flair on your TV, if you're WWE, is a lot better than not having Charlotte Flair on your TV show. So hopefully she comes back soon, and we get some banger matches out of her, because we know one thing, whether or not Charlotte Flair's promos or whatever are for you, one thing's for damn sure, she can wrestle with the best of them. That much I know. But guys, let me know in the comments what you think as we move on to our next topic. You know what we do though. We talk about everything. We talk about news. We talk about the salacious rumors that have been going around about this Megan Thee Stallion situation. Let's talk about it. So we got some updates on WWE stealing a talent from AEW, but not in the way that many of you think. So Megan Thee Stallion basically was kind of stolen from AEW, ? Let's talk about it. Here's the PW Insider report. At one point, there were expectations that Megan Thee Stallion would partner with Mercedes Mone in AEW. Megan and Mercedes met while at the Crunchyroll Anime Awards in Japan, as they were fans of each other. The meeting opened up negotiations between their managers. After the two sides had agreed to do something together, Mone publicly mentioned the idea while promoting AEW All In, noting she was hoping to get Stallion in the ring in AEW. There had been conversations about the two doing something together in WWE as far back as 2021. And here's the kicker. Here it is. After Mone went public, WWE made the deal to have Stallion's song Never Play, which caught the Mone circle by surprise. Whether this means the end of any potential Mone-Stallion alliance remains to be seen, but obviously the WWE deal didn't help. Okay, let's talk about this, because a lot of people have been claiming pettiness on WWE's part. A lot of people have been claiming very smart business savviness on WWE's part. A lot of people have been claiming, well, AEW should have just got the deal done. This is one of my favorite things in professional wrestling, genuinely, about like the news cycle, like this type of stuff. When wrestling companies are competing for like Hollywood, or, not Hollywood, but like in this case, like, high level, big time stars that are outside of wrestling, like Megan Thee Stallion, that's when wrestling's good. When AEW is at the point where they can do that, that's how wrestling's hot. That's how wrestling's good. That's how wrestling is being taken seriously. So let's unpack this situation, because there are layers to this. Obviously, Mercedes Mone and Megan Thee Stallion have some sort of a relationship. It was reported around the time of the Crunchyroll Awards that, they were together. This picture came out as that award show went on. And, one of the things coming out was like, you could see her in AEW, which would be an insane thing. But how does this new thing where the song Never Play is now the theme song of WWE Friday Night SmackDown, which is a whole nother topic to unpack. While it's a great song and I do bang to it, I listen to it. I'll tell you right now. But is it the perfect song for a wrestling intro? I don't know. We'll talk about it. But no, in all seriousness, I really do think that this is a case where WWE, this came across their radar and they were like, let's maybe reach out and see what happens. And something happened. Because at the end of the day, we can talk about whether or not Megan Thee Stallion wants to do something or whatever, or whether she would prefer to do something with Mercedes on a personal level. From a business standpoint, WWE is the bigger company. They have more exposure. You have millions of people tuning in to SmackDown every single week. It was, I think, 1.7 million tuned in live to the show. I'm sure over 2 million tuned in on DVR. So your song is going to be played for that many people every single week. And it is going to, obviously cause a boost in the charts. It's going to cause a boost at a time when you need it, when the song first comes out. From a business standpoint, that makes a lot of sense to do. Now, that doesn't mean, I don't think it eliminates her doing anything with AEW. In fact, I could see her even doing even more because she's already created a little bit of a foothold here in professional wrestling. People are talking about it. The only thing that kind of hinders that is if there's some sort of non-compete or that wouldn't be a non-compete in this case, but some sort of exclusivity in whatever contract they signed for the song. But it also depends on, I'm sure it was done through the media company that actually owns the song rather than Megan Thee Stallion. We don't know. We'll see. That's reckless speculation on my part. But fans are not happy about it. Some fans are really happy about it. The overall, judgment we have to make is this a petty move by WWE? And my view is that of all the petty moves that WWE have done, and by God, they have been petty towards AEW. Yeah, this doesn't really register for me. This is just this to me does rank in the competition file. If I had to categorize this is like healthy competition. Okay, Megan Thee Stallion, bet. It would be a totally different thing if she had already been announced for the match and they did this and they somehow pulled her from the match. WWE has done stuff like that on the indie level, which was really scummy of them a couple of years ago. But that's that's real pettiness. Them, going live every week with NXT right up head to head with AEW Dynamite. That's pettiness, right? Them running Orlando. That's pettiness. There's levels to pettiness. To me, isn't it? Black Saturday was pettiness from Vince McMahon. That was insanely petty. There's been a lot of pettiness coming out of WWE. To me, I don't think this is petty. I think this is it's part of the deal. It's business. And Tony Khan's a big boy. AEW is a growing company, been around 5 years. They will find something else. They will move on from this. They are not going to die. Don't worry. But I don't think this is that petty, to be honest with you. But obviously, I know many of you have your thoughts about this situation. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think about WWE stealing, quote unquote, Megan Thee Stallion away from AEW. I also want to hear your thoughts on the Charlotte Flair situation. What else do you want to talk about in the wacky world of professional wrestling? Let me know in the comment section. Also, be sure to smash that like button, smash that thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released.